One. Happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Pageant Sit Down. My name is Regina Lena, and I am so happy to have you here tonight. And I am so happy to have our guest on today. She was actually one of my first, if not, she was the first student of mine way back when. She's been competing in pageants for half her life. She is none other than Junior Miss Canada Top Choice 2028, Nicole Padilla. Hi, Nicole.
Hi everyone. Thank you.
Welcome to the Pageant Sit Down.
Thank you.
Nicole, for those, sorry, you're welcome. Here's the thing about live shows is we end up cutting each other off, but I promise I'm not doing it intentionally. But for those who don't know who you are, do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
For sure. My name is Nicole Padilla, and I'm your Junior Miss Canada's Top Choice 2018. And I've been doing pageants way back for years. I'm currently in school, online, and I'm here with Regine.
Perfect. So yeah, Nicole, you have a beautiful amount of sashes behind you. So you've been competing in pageants since you were 7. You're now 14.
Yeah.
You've literally been competing in pageants half of your lifetime.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
To be honest, it feels kind of good because I learned so much through it. I've had ups and downs through it. I learned a lot, and it's really makes me feel good that I'm doing pageants at such a young age and then growing up to maybe compete in some more.
Amazing. Well, for those who don't know, and I know I mentioned it earlier, Nicole was actually my very first student. And when I met Nicole, you literally were competing in pageant after pageant after pageant, weekend after weekend after weekend. I remember every time I'd see you, you were preparing for one, you'd win that one, and then you'd be competing for another one shortly after. How was it as, a 7, 8-year-old having this lifestyle already?
So when I was younger, the first pageant that I've done, I lost that pageant. I won one award, which was good, but I was devastated and I was crying, I was upset. And my mom finally put me into another pageant, and I got the help from Regine, and she helped me train how to use my dress, how to walk and smile, posture, everything.
Mm-hmm. Nicole, when you were however old you were back then, you always had the biggest smile and the best amount of confidence. And not just you, but even your sister, your younger sister, she was always at our practices, always wanting to show off. How is she doing now? Is she competing in pageants, or was this just something a little girl did to follow her older sister?
Yeah, so my sister is doing good. She joined a couple pageants. She did some with me, but right now it's not her thing. Maybe in the future she'll want to do it again and compete and be like me. But yeah, she's stopped for now, which is good. She's taking a break and whatever.
She's focusing on her. But that's great that you two were able to do it together, but are now being individuals and doing your own thing. But I'm curious to know, you have all these sashes behind you. How many pageants do you think, or do you know, that you've competed in?
Maybe more than 5, but not above 10. I know that.
Wow.
It can't be above 10. Maybe it's
crazy.
One above 10, but pageants in total, it has to be below maybe 4, 5.
I don't think so, because I feel like when we were working together, you had at least 4 then, but you've also done other pageants. But this pandemic has really slowed us down, and I know that the last pageant you did was Canada Galaxy in 2019, and I've been waiting for this comeback of yours, and now you're in the teen division. Are you planning to make your comeback?
To Galaxy, I don't know yet. It's up to my parents. I'm talking to them. I just have to see what they think, and then maybe I'll
Mm.
make my way to Galaxy. Who knows?
But I ask this question to a lot of girls. What would be your go-to? Like, what is your dream pageant that you want to compete in one day?
My dream pageant, maybe Miss Universe. I got that a lot. Actually, people told me that I'm gonna be the next Miss Universe. But I really want to join Miss Universe for me. Yeah. Seems like a big.
Would you want to do you want to do Miss Universe Canada, or do you want to go to the Philippines and do Beanie Beanie?
I want to go to the Philippines. It seems more. They teach you more, what I've heard. So I want to be more like trained and more prepared in a way, and then like show myself, and then hopefully get that title, and then join Miss Universe.
That would be amazing. I'm looking forward to it. You're only 14. You still have a long way to go, but it's great. It's true. When you would practice, a lot of people would say you are going to be the next future Miss Universe, and I know that's stuck with you, and I'm really glad that it did. But you're a junior miss, going into the teen division. How was it as a 7, 8, 9, even 10-year-old competing in pageants? And did your friends see you differently? Because I know the younger generation, it's a lot different for you guys.
So my friends, I told them that's like the number one thing. If someone asks me what's a fun fact about you, I say I'm a model, I do pageants, I have this much titles, I do this, I joined that pageant. So I tell them that. I tell them that for a fact. And they don't look at me differently. They support me 100%. And for me, I've been gaining so much from all these pageants, learning a lot, like I said before. And I'm having fun, so that's really good.
That's great. I know sometimes it's hard as a younger girl when people are like, you do pageants, because especially when you're 8 years old, they look at it as toddlers and tiaras, right?
Yeah.
But you've done it in such a mature way. And like you said, you've learned a lot of skills. So what would you say to that generation or the next generation, like your sister's age and younger? What would you tell those junior miss as advice? Or if they're not sure if they want to compete, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to go for it. No matter what, you're gonna have fun. It's not all about the crowns and stuff. Obviously, it's like the most beautiful thing, like the crowns and winning and flowers and whatever. But just go for it. And if you don't win, then there's other pageants out there you can join, and you just gain whatever you learn from that previous pageant, and you just apply and apply and apply, and you'll be so much better for the future pageants that you do. So just push yourself, just do it.
Awesome. And there's actually a good question here from Instagram, and I wanted to ask you before I get into the rest of the questions from Instagram is, what do you think is the biggest challenge or the biggest issue affecting young girls today?
That's a really good question. So what I think is girls, how they look at themselves and how they compare themselves to other people. And this isn't just for girls, but this goes for everyone. Nowadays in society, we are comparing ourselves to other people and to people on Instagram, the influencers. But you need to know that they were once in our shoes, and they worked for that. They worked for their body, they worked for whatever, their hair, their face features and whatever. But you shouldn't be ashamed of that. And you are beautiful just the way you are. You don't need to compare yourselves. You are perfect. No one can stop you. Just you shine. That's all I gotta say. Don't worry about what other people are saying about you. It really doesn't matter.
No, it's true. It's a good point that you make. body shaming is so big, and I know it's huge in all walks of life, especially the younger generation. And it's great that you brought up social media influencers. But Nicole, you're kind of one of those girls. You're kind of an influencer in your own way. How does it feel to be seen as a role model for a lot of the younger girls in the different pageant systems that you've competed in?
For me, it feels great that people look up to me and they follow me and they want to be just like me. But I really love it.
Hmm. Have you ever been to an event? Like, I know you've gone to a lot of community events. Have you ever been to one where a little girl or even an older beauty queen has come up to you and been like, "Hey, congratulations! I've seen you compete here or here." Has that ever happened to you?
Um, Not that I remember. I really don't remember anything. If it has, it probably would have been so good and great, and I felt so loved that they came up to me. So.
Hmm. Well, if not now, hopefully soon, because you are a superstar when it comes to pageantry. And a question from Instagram is actually, why did you start competing in pageants?
So I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but my mother, she competed in pageants. I think she said like two or maybe one, but I
Whoa,
think,
whoa, 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 wait, wait, wait. Your mom competed in pageants?
yeah.
I know who to message now.
Sorry, mom, if I exposed you, but I gotta tell. But
Mhm.
I think I got it from her. She wanted me to join a pageant. I started pageants 2014. So that was my first pageant. I was training a lot. We were dancing and preparing. And I didn't win that pageant, so I got upset, like I said before. And the next pageant, I got help with Regine, and she helped me. She helped me apply all my um, tricks, and she helped me with
Mhm.
everything. And then I won that pageant, and then I continued joining another pageant, won that one, continued, and now I'm here, and I'm joining in like more. I wouldn't say like bigger pageants aren't like um I don't know how to explain it. It's not like more smaller pageants like community pageants. It's more like
Mhm.
out in the
National
yeah,
pageants.
yeah.
Yeah. So, Nicole, like you said, you've won after winning after winning after winning. You, I could say, are the highest success rate I have for a client and a student. And at one point, you became like my little sister. And so seeing you compete, seeing you, and it was so great because I don't know if you know this, but you are one of the reasons why I got out of retirement and started competing again because you and your mom kept asking me like, when are you going to go back to compete? And it's because of you and your drive, and you inspired me to do it, so thank you for that.
Oh, that makes me feel
Elizabeth Marnock is in the chat. She says, hello, you're both looking beautiful. Hi, Liz.
so. Hi.
So how was that for you? You mentioned, you did a lot of smaller pageants as a kid, and then you step on stage to, let's say, Galaxy Canada, which is a national pageant. How was that for you?
Um, for me, so for comparing, it's so much more intense. Like the community pageants, they were just like there was no practice to it. It's you show up, you walk on a stage, and you do your best, right? And for like nationals and stuff, those pageants, I had to practice every single day, every single night, and I had to get yelled at by my mom. I
Not by me, guys.
I had to prepare for everything. I had to practice smiling, posture, poses, how to answer questions. Because I'm now in that age where I have to go on stage, answer questions for Q&A. So it's a really big step, but I'm learning and I'm having fun. and it's great.
Mm. It's definitely a big step for you to go from a community pageant to this national stage, but you did really great and you should be really proud of yourself. I know it gets intimidating because you're used to like the mall pageants or the glitz pageants and then you go onto the stage, but you did really amazing. You came first runner up and there was so much competition in your category and you came on stage. People were looking at you like they were scared of you because you are their competition. How does that make you feel when girls are looking at you like, oh, I have to watch out for her?
That makes me feel like I'm actually doing something good. um, but it makes me feel good about myself, and it shows that I am actually working hard and I'm not just putting it aside and saying, oh, it's just a pageant. I'll probably win that. It doesn't matter. I don't care about the competition. But it makes me open my eyes and think that there'd be that are so much better than me and they could beat me. So I need to step up my level and do so much better so I can win and I can show everyone that I'm so good at this. I'm working hard and I'm putting all of this work in it and
Yeah, you've done a lot of personal growth and growth on stage, so you should be really proud of yourself. I'm looking forward to the day that I can share the stage with you again or even train with you again because it's a lot of fun and you like you said you're now in a different age division, so it's exciting. Another question on Instagram is what would you say was your favorite pageant that you competed in?
Okay. My favorite pageant. I necessarily don't have a favorite pageant. I love all of them. They were all so good. Made so much memories joining those pageants. But I would probably say that not my favorite. Okay, it's my favorite because it was like my last pageant before COVID and stuff. So I was really grateful that I was able to join a pageant before all of this happened. So Galaxy, it was a bigger pageant and it made me gain so much friendships and so many memories because it was I think a week pageant or just a weekend pageant. So there was a lot of days to it, and there was practicing early morning calls for dance practice, for how to walk on the stage, and for like interviews. One day we had interviews in the morning, so that so it was my favorite pageant because it was more of a bigger pageant and I got to experience it and I got to see how like more bigger pageants are and what I'm getting into. So
That's awesome. That's one of my favorites too. And again, it was great sharing the stage with you there. Another question is which one of your crowns is your favorite? Because all the crowns are different, right?
Yeah.
They're all, especially in the pageants that you've done, they're all different colors, different sizes. So which one would you say was your favorite?
So there's this one crown from a pageant. It's like the Miss Universe 20. When did Pia join? 2018, I think, or 16.
I think. I don't remember. Anyways, continue.
Whenever she joined, I have a crown exactly like hers, but it's all rhinestone.
2015.
Yeah, 2015. So I have her crown that she has, but it's all rhinestone. It's not like the exact same thing. It's filled with rhinestone and then the 3 blue rhinestones. Yeah, I have that one. That has to be my most favorite crown. I feel like I won Miss Universe, that I joined Miss Universe. And I wear that sometimes. I open the cabinet that it's in and I put it on. I'm like, oh, look at me. I'm wearing this crown. I won Miss Universe. You can't beat me. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That has to be my favorite
That's
crown.
amazing. So during this pandemic, you've been at home now for a year. Do you sometimes just put your heels on and dress up? Like you said, you already put your crown on. Do you just prance around at home and practice?
So my heels, sometimes I practice because there was this one pageant that I was gonna join, but then like COVID. So I did practice. I still practice now, a little bit, and I open the cabinet sometimes because I'm like bored and I'm like looking at the crowns and I open it and then I have it on my head and I'm just like walking around taking pictures in it. So yeah.
That's so fun. I miss my heels so much. My feet don't, but I do.
I do too.
So another question, actually, there's a few questions here. Well, this is the last question, actually, is what is your favorite segment in a pageant? So do you like fashion wear? Do you like evening gown? Which one's your favorite?
My favorite probably has to be fashion wear. That one is like one of the most categories that I usually win in because my mom, she goes all out for it. She gets them custom made for me, and I like she's strict when it comes to that, and she yells at me for like practicing and how to use it and all of that. So that has to be my favorite segment in the pageant. So.
That's awesome. It sounds like your mom is living vicariously through you. Like she's living her pageant life through you. But if your mom's watching, which I'm sure she is, we need to get her on stage. There are Mrs. Divisions out there. And now that I know that she's competed in pageants, I hope she knows I'm going to text her after this.
Yeah.
No, but you do really great in fashion wear. Like at Galaxy, you had the whole outfit change or costume change. It was epic, and I see where your mom's ideas come from. I should go to your mom for advice when it comes to my outfits.
She like has so many. She like finds them on like Facebook, Pinterest. She like finds them and then she combines them together and then she makes her own. And then she asks me, "Oh, do you like this?" And I tell her, yeah. And then she gets it done. So
you guys get it done in the Philippines, right?
Yeah, we get it done in the Philippines.
So what do you do with all of your dresses and outfits after the pageant?
So right now they are in the basement on a rack, and my parents and I we were thinking them and stuff. We were having like thoughts of it, but I don't know. We haven't sold any, and I kind of don't want to because they're like custom made for me, and like if my sister joins a pageant in the future, she can also use them. So they're just in the basement right now. Who knows?
Well, I'm going to go through your closet one day and make stuff fit me because your clothes are beautiful. So, Nicole, we're at that point of the show where I like to ask my guest 5 tips from a beauty queen. And you being in the junior division and the teen division, I do want to know what are your 5 tips for the younger generation of pageants?
Okay, so I actually wrote them down. I thought about them for a week. So the first one is confidence. So like I said before, girls or like anyone, they compare themselves to other people, which they shouldn't be. They are beautiful. They are unique in their own way. Just go out and show yourself, and you be the judge of yourself, and don't listen to the other people that are talking about you and how you look, because that's not really what matters. It's what you are comfortable with and what you feel is best for yourself. So that's number 1. For number 2 is always practice. So if there's anyone watching that's thinking of joining a pageant, always practice. Practice walking, practice your posture, your smile, your poses, all of that. If you don't know how, you can go to a trainer. You can go to Regine. She's literally the best. She helps you through everything. She can help you from your outfits to your walk to your poses. She can help you through anything. But yes, always practice, practice. Never give up, and take your time. And at first, you never succeed, so you're not always perfect. You always apply what you did wrong to your next thing, and then that's how you grow. The third one is focus on yourself. Again, so many girls, I can't stop bringing it up, but so many people compare themselves, and they shouldn't be. And people try to be like other girls. So if you're joining a pageant, you don't want to copy the people that you're competing with. It shows, and you don't want to copy them. Then you lose focus on yourself, and it just ruins your whole self, and you're not really showing who you are and what you can do with yourself. So that's number 3. And number 4 is always have fun. Pageants aren't always because of the crown and winning the title. It's about having fun, making memories with people, and gaining friendships. For me, I have gained this one girl. Her name is Michaela. We joined Canada's Top Choice together, and I didn't know I was gonna be her friend, but we became friends, and we went to each other's houses for our birthdays. We competed in pageants together, and sometimes I just forget we're competing because we're like such good best friends, and like I forget we're competing. But yeah, Michaela, she's come with me through a lot, and like she's helped me support. I helped her support. We joined pageants together. We did everything together. Number 5 is be prepared. Come prepared. There was this one time I forgot an outfit, so I had to borrow from someone. So come prepared with dresses, heels. I go to pageants with 3 different types of heels. So I have heels. Be prepared for like question and answer. Be prepared for like pictures. Pictures is like the number one thing. Pageants, there's always a photographer to your left, right, in front of you taking pictures. So you have to be prepared for that. Be prepared for mentally and physically. And yeah, that's all. That's all I got.
Those are great, amazing tips. And I promise I did not pay her to advertise my coaching. But Nicole, you're very inspiring to the next generation of beauty queens, and you've definitely learned a lot through your years, and I'm really proud of you, and those tips are amazing. So if anyone wanted to reach out to you privately through social media, how can they?
Yeah, for sure. My Instagram is it's Lindsay Padilla. So it's Lindsay Padilla, LYNDZYPADILLA. My name is spelled differently.
It's okay. So make sure you follow her on Instagram and follow her pageant journey. It is in the description below. So after the show, make sure you go and follow her. I did have another question, but I forgot. But there are a lot of people here who are watching, and I know you mentioned that some of your family members from the Philippines might be tuning in. So, hello, Philippines. And if you all have any questions for Nicole or Lindsay, whatever you call her, leave a comment below and we'll make sure she answers them. So, Nicole, I know you've been competing in pageants half your life, but you also stepped into modeling. And I know before the pandemic, you were doing fashion shows. How was that?
It was great. It was actually kind of good because pageants and modeling, they're 2 different things. So it was good to take a break from like being prepared for like question and answer and all of that, and dresses and whatever, like the bigger dresses. So it was really nice. I before COVID, I got to do maybe I think 2 different fashion shows. or maybe one, before COVID hit. And that was really, really fun. I met some Filipino designers. I got to wear some of their creations, and I met a lot of people. I saw a lot of people that I haven't seen in a while. So it was really fun, and I really miss that too.
I totally understand what you mean. I miss the runway as well. But you also are very comfortable on stage because not only do you do pageants or do fashion shows, but you also dance, right?
I used to dance in 2018, I believe. But I stopped, so I don't know if I still have my tricks that you guys saw.
No. Okay, so for those that don't know, Nicole, I've known Nicole forever now, right? And every time in the pageants that she was doing, talent was a big thing. And every time we were preparing for a pageant, she was preparing a new talent, like a brand new talent that came out of nowhere. And you're very talented in a way that you can pick up new skills very quickly. But at Canada Top Choice, you were doing some funky acrobatic dance moves and flipping your legs. Did you learn that on your own, or did you get professional training this time?
So the story behind that, my friend, she is a dancer. She's a competitive dancer, and basically she like taught me that, and I was so confused. I'm like, what are you doing? But and then I went to dance, and I showed everyone in my class, and the dances that I used to do for acro, that was one of the main tricks that I would do in the center, and my teacher would put in every dance I did for acro. So yeah.
So, okay, so your friend showed you, you got a little bit of help, and you killed it.
And then I developed for my teacher. She like helped me add some like more tricks into that, and then I performed it on stage, and then I brought it everywhere. So every dance that I do for acro, that's always in there. Number one trick.
And it gets me every time. So if you guys are wondering what we're talking about, make sure you follow Nicole's journey and you'll see what she means. So Elizabeth Marnock has a question for you in the chat. She says, I absolutely loved your evening gown at Canada Galaxy 2019. What was the inspiration behind it? And then I'll ask you the second question afterwards.
Okay, so the dress, it was an emerald green dress with like, I think it was
your blue one. The
Sorry.
Cinderella looking like one. No worries.
So the blue one, it was Cinderella. So my mom, we actually found that somewhere online, and I think that was one of like, I think it was like a last minute dress. I'm not really sure. But we found that online, and we went to the lady that was selling it, and we tried a couple dresses, and that was the most beautiful dress that I tried on, and I fell in love with it. So that one basically was just like we found online. It wasn't really a really big thing. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you were mentioning the emerald green one, and that's the one you wore when you won Junior Miss Canada Top Choice.
Yeah.
So what's the story behind that one? Because it's also very beautiful, and I wish it fit me.
So the emerald green one, that one has like sleeves that are very long, and it's very flowy. I don't know where my mom got that idea from. She showed it to me, and she's like, do you like this? And I'm like, sure. And she wanted an emerald green dress because she doesn't like sticking to like one color dress every single time. So she likes to switch it up. And I like to switch it up too, so it's not the same every time. But we went with emerald green, and she probably found an inspiration on like Facebook from another girl that joined a pageant that had like the same dress. So she got that inspiration. She sent it to whoever makes my dress in the Philippines, and they made it, and I got it, and that's how I got that dress.
That's awesome. So the second part, but I think I know the answer to it, was what is your biggest tips for choosing a good wardrobe? I would say hire Nicole's mom.
Yes, my mother. My mother is crazy. When it comes to a pageant, she's like prepared with like different types of dresses. She has dresses that she already picked out for the next pageant. Who knows when I'm going to join the next pageant, but she already has it picked out. And she finds them online. She finds them from other people who join pageants. And she just takes inspiration. She takes maybe like 3 pictures and then she combines them together and makes her own. So, and then she sends pictures to the Philippines, and then the Philippines makes it, and then they ship it here, and I have it. So
if people don't have someone like your mom that has this creative mind when it comes to outfits, what would you then recommend for them to do?
I would recommend, if you're getting a custom dress, I recommend go on Pinterest and find like inspos of what you want your dress to look like, and then save it, and then pick like the features you want, and then like send it to your designer that designs your dress. But if you're not getting it designed or custom made by a designer, then I suggest you just rent a dress that is appealing to you and that you feel confident in, and that you think you're gonna win in that dress. So I think rent, or just find inspiration on Pinterest and then send it to the designer.
That's awesome. And it's a good point that you made about renting, because I rent a lot of my dresses, and I rent them from Kimberly Gray Ortiz, who has been on the show, and somebody you know as well. So those are great tips. And thank you for the question, Liz. It's just so funny to me how your mom is like the mastermind behind all of your outfits.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm going to message your mom later. So if you're watching, can you come up with an evening gown for Galaxy International for me, please?
She'll find it in seconds, I promise you.
She's probably already looking for it.
Yeah.
So Nicole, earlier, I was asking you, like before we got on the call, I was asking you about your sashes, and you had a very interesting story. I don't know if you want to share it with our audience.
Yes. So I was like organizing my sashes so it looks nice and whatever. And I grabbed this sash, and I was standing right beside my bed, and I was like, how do I put this on? I forget how to put it on. And like I was looking at it, I was like, which way is the right way? Maybe it's the other way. But I totally forgot how to put this sash on, and it didn't like cross my mind on how to put it on. So
Oh my goodness. Well, it's good that you remembered. It becomes muscle memory after a while on which side the sash goes on. But I mean, we've been in this pandemic for a year. We haven't competed or had to put our sash on in so long. So it totally makes sense to why that happened to you. But I mean, for me, I have a question for you as a fan of yours for so long, and I talked about it with your talent, where you're just able to pick things up here, there, and everywhere. If you can pick any talent, like this is what I'm known for, whether it be one of your dances or any of your talents, what would you pick as your main talent focus?
like for like if like I'm competing in a talent category, like like singing or whatever, it would probably be, that's the best thing I'm really good at. I took tap once. I don't know if yes, I did. I performed it with my sister when she joined a pageant. So I did tap, but I don't know. I can't, like, my feet, they're out of this world. They're known for heels only. But acrobatics, I take that easily. I pick it up easily. I might have to go back to a dance studio to bring it all back again and put it in my head, and so I have something for the next pageant for talent. But it has to be acrobatics.
It's crazy. I mean, for those who don't know, Nicole would flip her legs around
Yeah.
and literally be like this. I'm like, what? It's it's very mind-boggling, but it's a great talent to have. Nicole, you have been an inspiration to many people, including myself. I wanted to know who is your inspiration when it comes to pageants and modeling and everything that you do?
Um, for me, my mother, even though that might be the most basic answer, but it is true. It's my mother. Even though she yells at me, it's something. She yells at me for something. She yells at me for making myself do better and to push me harder. So my mom, she wants me to succeed. So she pushes me hard every single time. And sometimes I don't listen to it, but I should. And mamas know best. So my mom, for sure.
That's awesome. And when you say your mom yells at you, she's not yelling at you because she wants to yell at you. She's expressing her love for you that way and making sure, like you said, that you're doing a lot better. You're making your mom sound bad. You're making your mom sound like she yells.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Just to clarify, her mom does not yell at her like that, okay, people?
Yeah, she yells at me in a good way. She yells at me to succeed. She yells at me. She wants me to look at myself like you're doing this for a good. You're doing this for yourself. You're doing this because of you. You're doing this because you want to show yourself. You're doing this because of you. That's number one. So
awesome. And have you ever gotten to a point where you tell yourself, I've been competing for pageants for 7 years. I think it's time to retire? Or is this something that you are passionate about and see yourself doing for a long time?
So for me, I'm not tired yet, so I'm not retiring anytime soon. Maybe in like Ms. When I'm in Ms. or something like that. But no, I'm not tired of it. This is my passion. I want to do it. I want to. Once I reach Miss Universe, then maybe I'll stop. But yeah, I'm gonna do this for as long as I can. Who knows when I'll retire, but not anytime soon.
There's a Mrs. division, right? So just because you want to stop at Miss, you can keep going to Mrs. Universe, right?
We'll see.
You're like, that's a very long time from now.
Yeah. But
so you're here as Junior Miss Canada Top Choice, and I know that their pageant is actually coming up in a few weeks. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience as being their title holder?
So for me, I joined 2018, and it was amazing. It was stressful, but it was worth it.
Stressful?
I had lots of fun. I created a lot of friends. That's where I met Michaela, and we were in the same division. And I never knew that we were going to be really close and help each other. But it was really fun, and I didn't think I was going to win. There was a lot of competition, and they were all so good. And I didn't really know if I was like going to win. I had second thoughts in my head and all of that. So, but it was worth it. It was worth all the working and preparing and prep, all of that. So, very good.
Well, you're now in the teen division. Would you consider going back to any of the previous pageants that you've done, including Canada Top Choice, and trying again in a different division?
Maybe I would, but I don't. For me, I don't like repeating pageants. But if I would, I would join for the teen division. But there was this one pageant that I was gonna do, and I'm for the teen division, but it got postponed because of COVID. So I'm not doing it anymore.
There's always next time. The world is starting to slowly open up. So I'm excited to see what Nicole has in store for us. You're very talented. You have the wardrobe, you have the skills, you have the mama bear to help you. So
Yeah. I don't know if I told you this, but I was supposed to join a pageant before COVID, and it was called Miss Teen Filipina International. So it would
oh,
have been held in California. I had like all the interviews and like interviews uh, with the people, yeah,
organizer.
with the organizer of the pageant. And ever since like COVID, I don't want to join it because California has like a high COVID uh, rate, or
Hmm.
a high COVID,
Numbers.
yeah, numbers. So I'm not joining that. I'm kind of scared if I go there and like I'm gonna get COVID. So I'm gonna hold on to that. But yeah, that would have been my next pageant, but maybe next.
Would that have been your first international
Yeah,
pageant?
that would have been my first international pageant.
Wow. So you're making strides over there without telling us. But COVID is not going to last forever, and you're still brand new to the teen division. So I'm sure one day you will be in that pageant system. If not that one, another one. And, at least, you're looking forward to something, you're working towards something. So it's great to hear as your pageant coach to know that you're still interested, you're still learning, and you still have a long way to go. So I'm really excited to see what happens. You mentioned Michaela. She's also one of my students.
Yeah.
It's so great to see that the friendships that you've created with her are still there, because you do gain the best of friends out of pageants. I mean, Elizabeth Marnock is here and we talk every day, right? So
Yeah.
it's great that you have each other as support. What do your friends think of you competing? Like, are they super supportive? Do they go to your shows, or do they just support you on the side?
Um, so my friends, they support me 100%. One of my friends, she actually was yeah, she was at the 2018 pageant that I joined, this pageant. She was there, she was supporting me. She made like a banner. So she was there, and I actually kind of surprised her with that. She didn't really know. I showed up at her house and I'm like, okay, you're coming with me. I'm having a pageant and you're gonna watch me. So she was there. She she supported me. So
That's one way to do it. You just pick people up and you're like, "You're coming with me. Let's go."
yeah.
That's funny. So, are you trying to be like me, where you have like the biggest audience in the crowd?
Yeah. So um the people the people that like I know that are competing pageants with me, we all support each other and like we cheer everyone on. So if you're not in my family, and I still know you, we're gonna cheer you on because we're
Hmm.
supporting you and we know you. So we're gonna cheer you on and make
Hmm.
you feel so loved and that there's someone there to cheer you on.
So, I have my group and I call them Team Regine.
Yeah.
I know I mentioned this before. Elizabeth, she has the monarchy because her last name is Marnock. What would you call your team of supporters?
Um, my team, if my team supporters, that's a really good question. I don't even know. I'm bad at like creating names or like nicknames.
Well,
So
we'll
I,
get your mom to come up with a name for your little group.
yeah. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. It's so inspiring to watch you grow up to blossom to be this person that you are now. I do hope to see you compete again, and you mentioned you compete with your friends. What is it like, or what was it like for you? Because I know watching you on stage with me at Galaxy was just so heartwarming to know that we were doing this together. What was it like for you to be on stage with Michaela, with myself, Tatiana? There were so many girls there that you knew. How was that for you?
I actually loved it. And knowing that I'm going into a pageant with people makes me feel like I'm not alone in this pageant, and I have people to cheer on that are also joining the pageant with me. It's really fun, and I get to create not memories, friendships with those people that I already know too. Like I get to have that friendship and then gain another one with the friendship that I came with, and then we become a bigger group and a bigger group and a bigger group, and like we communicate social media, text, whatever we have. And yeah, it's really nice that that I get to experience that. So
Yeah, it was fun to see you on stage and do your thing. And I don't know if you heard me, but I was backstage cheering you on, because I'm loud and everyone probably heard me. So Nicole, we're coming to an end of our sit down. Is there anything else you'd like to say to everyone before we finish off?
yes, to everyone that's watching, thank you so much for tuning in to this sit down. I'm so glad that you guys came and watched me and watched Regine talk about my pageant experience, and I'm really thankful that you guys are watching. So, and also thank you for having me on the pageant sit down.
You're so welcome. I am honestly so grateful to have had you on as a guest. I really wanted to make sure that I got my very first student and my most successful student on the pageant sit down, and just to share your story, because as I said, you are very inspiring. You have been competing in pageants for half your life. You've just started. You have a long way to go, and I'm so grateful and so happy to be on this journey with you. So again, one more time, Nicole, if people wanted to follow you on social media, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram at Lindsay Padilla, LYNDZYPADILLA. And
Perfect. So make sure you guys follow her on Instagram. Again, the link is in the description. Nicole, thank you so much for being with us. And to everyone that tuned in, whether you're from Toronto or the Philippines, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Nicole, again, thank you so much for being here with me. To everyone, if you like this interview and want to see more, make sure you like this video. Thumbs up if you do, as well as subscribe to this channel, because we go live every Monday and every Wednesday at 7:30, and we talk to different beauty queens from all over the world. I see Scott Dion Brown is here. He is streaming at the moment, so I don't know why he's here. Make sure you guys go tune into Scott's channel, Scott Dion Brown, and make sure you tune in on Sunday, because I am his co-host for the sit down, not the pageant sit down, the sit down, every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, thank you everyone for joining us. Nicole, it was so nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Scott is still talking. He said, hit the like button. Yes, please. Nicole, thank you so much for being here with me. I hope to see you soon. I hope to see you on stage soon. And we'll see you all very soon. Bye, guys.